allegiance before we start.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Okay.
Jonathan, you should vote to seat Gary Rosenthal.
Oh, could have him as an alternate?
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna do that first thing. Is that what?
Yeah, I'm just make a motion. Is that what I do?
Yeah, we gotta have a motion. We gotta have a second.
Have Gary take Jenny's place for this meeting.
Second it.
Okay, all those in favor? All those opposed? Okay, Gary, you're on.
All right. Showtime.
It is. Well, you picked an easy night. I think. I've been surprised before. So the first thing we're gonna do is we are going to have a vote on the minutes. We have two sets of minutes. We have the regular planning board meeting minutes from November 8th. This is November 8th. We have December?
December 6th.
November 8th on this one. Oh, that's on full motion. Okay, December 6th. Sorry, looking at the wrong date. Another date, but yeah, planning board meets of December 6th. And the Damariscotta Planning Site Board site visit on 35 Water Street on December 13th. Do I have a motion to accept the minutes as presented?
I think, Jonathan, there, not that it matters a lot, but there's just a mistake with the names.
Where
says-
was that?
At
I
the
didn't pick
top,
that
it
up.
says Dan Jackson, and I think she combined me with Danny Day, maybe. Okay.
I'll make that correction.
Thanks. Members present, I think.
You know, I didn't even, I looked right at that and didn't even, you know how your mind works. Sometimes you
Oh, yeah.
don't see that. I never was a good proofreader anyway. All right, now can we have a motion?
I'll make a motion that we accept both minutes as amended.
Okay, do I have a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor? All those opposed?
Jonathan, I will be given an update on 35 Water Street after this project is
Yeah.
reviewed.
That's fine. I'd like to hear it. So 276 Main Street is the old business for tonight. Phelps Architects is here to present this. We've been around and around with this. I think there were several points that had to be made. One was curb cuts.
Utility connections,
Yeah.
which they submitted another plan
Yeah.
that they'll review tonight.
I saw those. Finally got a new computer. I'm learning how to use it, and I got a new printer that works. So anyway, would you like to start, Dan?
Sure. My name is Dan Phelps. I'm from Phelps Architects. I'm also here with Alyssa Pulver. She's from Gartley Dorsey, civil engineering company. And I don't know, Bob, how much detail you want me to go through in terms of the packet that Bob distributed to the board and prefaced everything pretty comprehensively. Jonathan, I think as you mentioned, two of the big things to information that we were all kind of waiting for was the site plan and kind of specific to the utility connections
Mhm.
proposed at Vine Street. And then, as you mentioned, the packet also includes a curb cut permit off of Main,
Yeah.
which is in there. So I believe I can share my screen. It says disabled though. Yeah. Thank you. Okay, what I have.
Someone's mic is on your.
Is it mine?
Might be. Where's your Zoom? Your mic is probably open. Is that it? Is that your audio?
Yeah.
Yeah, mute that, please.
It says joint audio.
That's.
Yeah, what I have here tonight is the existing site plan. Just as a quick run through, the proposed site plan. There is also the supplemental information regarding proposed connections for water and sewer, which we will review. Details related to erosion control measures during construction and after construction completion. Some site-specific details, the building elevation and floor plan for reference for that. So back to the site plan.
Can you get that stuff off the middle there? Thanks.
There we go. So that's the existing site plan. I'll just start with the proposed site.
Can I ask a couple questions?
Yes.
So you're proposing some pedestrian, I assume those are pavers. And how does that, is there going to be an esplanade or something between your proposed path and the existing sidewalk? Or how's that going to work? There's a sidewalk out there, right?
Yeah, there's the existing sidewalk, correct, and then the white space
Is
is
grass?
will be a grassed area, and all the white space and the paver areas above. Yes.
Okay. And up near the intersection, that is, you're proposing some furniture there? In the circular area?
Yes, where the diagonal hatched area is.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the parking space above, is that a staff parking space? The one just above your pointer, right off of Vine Street?
Those are bicycle.
Oh, yeah, no, that's bike rack access.
Oh, those are bike racks.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah, correct. That's not intended to be a
Okay.
parking space.
Okay, I
Yeah,
didn't understand that.
yeah,
Okay.
sure. So the site access has been engineered one direction off of Business Route 1. Accessible parking space provided, the right elevations and walkways to the proposed building, 3 additional parking spaces, exits off onto Vine Street. The existing Information Bureau building on the corner is proposed to be expanded. And that's basically the lighter shaded gray area where it says State of Maine Book 399. The height of the building is will match the existing height of the Information Bureau now. And the setbacks of the expansion do not impede any further into the setbacks of the existing building. Some of the site drainage will be capturing water from the site via underground piping, and you'll see we have I believe it's a trench drain. Yes, kind of in this location here to capture runoff from the parking lot, and then we'll direct it down a culvert along Vine Street, or a pipe connecting into an existing basin right here and under a culvert under Vine Street. This blue work was just recently done, as most people know. We'll be utilizing that for stormwater runoff. Let's get the computer to catch up. There we go. So this plan had indicated a water connection coming out of the building here where the hand is, and then a sewer connection just to the right of it. And working with the district, we are proposing to connect into a water line that's in Vine Street. Just blow it up a little bit there. Yeah, a 1.5-inch water service line. The sewer line, a little bit more involved in terms of not proposing to try to connect into any Vine Street infrastructure, but into a manhole that is behind the Tidewater Telecom building. This will require some easement work across this property and across Tidewater Telecom, but that's an existing sewer manhole that we would connect an invert into to take care of the sewer needs for the chamber building. We have the entrance permit from Main Street. The architecture of the addition of the chamber building will be very much in keeping with the existing architecture that exists there now. I think that is the major highlights right now.
So if the planning board approves this, it has to be a condition of approval that prior to issuance of the building permit, you need that easement or an alternative way of connecting the sewer.
Yeah, and just to build on that, Bob, a little bit more, there is another easement that will take place kind of across the property. Yeah, in this location, Tidewater Telecom wants to bring an underground connection from their building. I think pole down Vine Street, but then underground across this site to get to the other side of Main Street. So that's just another easement that will also be worked out once that town ownership is completely in place.
Aren't those telephone lines on the opposite side on the Baptist church side of the street from that building?
Yeah.
Are they gonna go underneath
Yeah, so they'll,
Business Route 1?
no, I think my understanding of the discussion was they'll come underground across our site to a pole.
Two-way pole, okay.
Yeah, and then
I
go
get it.
overhead across Main,
Yeah.
Jonathan.
Yeah, I just wondered, that's all.
Yeah, good question.
Where are they doing that, Dan? Is that the blue line or is that?
Sorry. I believe, yes, it's the,
It's right.
where is it, listen?
It's like kind of down here and then it goes up that way towards the exit. Vine Street.
Yep, so along here.
Yeah, right around, along.
Yeah, so it'll. Go in this area.
You have a public hearing scheduled for tonight, and the butters have been notified.
I don't know if we should go through some of the performance standards listed in the packet provided, but we've commented on meeting the requirements there, and some of the items not applicable and described in there in the packet that Bob sent around for the meeting. Certainly review some of those if the
Well,
board would like to, but
pardon me?
could certainly review some of those items if the board would like to, but
I think we probably ought to, when we're done. I think before we go into that any much further, you explained this process and what's going on here, and we probably should start the public hearing, as far as I'm concerned. So if anybody, we'll officially start this public hearing. So if anybody in the back would like to say anything about this potential project, now is the time. If there's any butters or whatever.
Chairman, John Roberts, on behalf of the chamber, the four of us all are on either the executive director, Lisa Hagan, Jim Gallagher, and Larry Simon are on the board for the chamber. So, we're excited about this project and look forward to making it happen.
How's the money raising going?
We're gaining.
Good for you. That's the hard part.
I mean, this has been one of the hurdles we need to get through before, the ownership piece is the other one. So
It's a complicated little piece of work, that's for sure. Anybody else have anything to say or want to say about this?
we'll buy a brick.
The second, Larry.
I'm tasked with selling some bricks.
Get out in the corner. All right, so I guess I'll close the public hearing because we don't really have a lot to say, what the public we have is obviously pretty clearly for this. So now, Dan, probably at this point, you ought to go through some of those performance standards, I would think.
sure. Start with, let's see. Item A, preserve and enhance the landscape. Trees along the abutting property line, which is the property line to a Granite Edge LLC, which is Phelps Architect's office. Those trees will be preserved, are preserved. And then we have some landscaping elements, grassed areas, but also shrubbery proposed around the proposed building, rhododendron type plantings along the edge, and preserving as much plantings along the existing chamber building right now. Item B, relationship to environment and neighboring buildings. This is an existing building. We're adding on almost a very similar addition in context and architecture, so we feel it'd be very complementary to the site. Item C, air quality. Don't anticipate any impact there based on the proposed use of the building. There's no manufacturing or anything like that going on the corner. The chamber will be using it, primarily as office type space and informational access space. Lighting and glare, the lighting will conform to town requirements. We're not proposing any significant site lighting. Any kind of lighting will be off the building and be certainly dark sky type of lighting, down lighting to illuminate the areas. Item E, noise. We do not anticipate any impact there based on the use. Adequacy of public road system. Given the anticipated minor vehicle traffic in the one-way proposal off of Main and exiting Vine Street, we anticipate that will be minor, and Business Route 1 is more than adequate in terms of an artery through the town. Access to the site. We have a MDOT entrance permit off of Business Route 1 that was submitted and approved by MDOT. Parking and circulation. Item H, we have one-way circulation. We feel the parking is adequate for the use of the building. We have pedestrian circulation. We have some sidewalks proposed which connect the parking, the accessible parking, the right elevations to the entrances of the building. The building will be fully accessible. Let's see. Item J, existing public utilities and services. Gartley-Andorski has, in consultation with the district, that we've talked about the water in the sewer, and very little impact in terms of loading of the water and or sewer. There's one bathroom, kitchenette, those types of services inside of the building, so very minimal. Excuse me. Water quality, item K, no impact. We are not near any ponds or shoreland district or water courses in terms of those overlays. Stormwater management, item L, the site has been engineered to direct and capture that water, as we discussed a little bit earlier, and kind of direct it towards the Vine Street and into a collection in down Vine Street to existing infrastructure that was recently done to capture that water. Erosion and sedimentation control, there's significant notation on drawing C2, which talks about that item during construction and after construction. So the contractor will have very clear direction about what they have to do there during those pieces. The water supply, item N, we talked about a connection coming into connecting into a Vine Street supply. And that's been worked out with the district. Item O, natural beauty. It's an existing developed site. We're redeveloping it, obviously. But we feel that once developed, it'll blend very nicely and be complementary to the town in the corner there. Item P, historic and archaeological resources. It's not, this site building is not on the register, historic register. It is outside of the Damariscotta district, just outside of it. But at the same time, we feel we're proposing a building that will fit very well into the kind of the historic context. Item Q, filling and excavation, some minor excavation, a little bit of scraping of the site to get rid of some stumps and a minor crawl space, slab on grade type of construction for the addition, but no real major deep excavations going on for this site. Sewage disposal, we talked about providing that sewer connection into Vine Street and the easements down the way and into the existing sewer manhole behind the Tidewater building. Phosphorus control item S. Given
Not
this,
in the watershed of a great pond.
yeah, and given the site's been engineered and flat and we're controlling the storm water and we're not, we don't have a lot of area per se with runoff where that will be an issue. So it's kind of a non-applicable item. Item T, buffer areas, none shown, but it's a tight existing site within the setbacks. We do have plantings and grassed areas and things of that nature. Item U, signs. We are proposing potential 2 possible sign locations. We may end up with only one of those. But we would submit for the required permit for the signage and the lighting to be applicable with those requirements. Item V, building appearance. Again, addition, we feel will be compatible with the existing building. Those are the items.
Okay. Anybody on the board got anything to say about this? No? Okay,
Oh, seems quite detailed and complete to me.
well, we got to vote it complete. I know it has not been done so.
How's the ownership transfer coming?
The draft of the governor's deed has been going up through the chain for the last 2 weeks. So our contact at Maine DOT said he expected with the holidays, it would probably take another few weeks to get her signature. Once that's done, the select board have already authorized a lease agreement that's in the draft form right now between the town and the chamber. So we're just waiting on that, governor's deed to allow us formal access to the property. So Matt Lucas has been helping us with that. He's been pushing as hard as he can, and we're just in the government churn cycle, I guess.
There is one.
Those are the only 2 unfinished business that they have left. Yep.
If we don't vote this complete, we can't carry through with it.
Well, it's not complete, but I think we can certainly move forward pending those 2 issues. Obviously, the ownership.
Yeah.
And then the easement for the sewer.
Yeah.
That's the only 2 things I see holding it up for moving it on. I mean, doesn't mean that we can't move it complete pending those get passed into Bob, correct?
Well, we'd have to have that as part of the motion.
Correct.
Want to make a motion?
So I will move that that we find the application complete with the exception of the final document of ownership and the details of the sewer line easement being hooked in through the 2 abutters. Once those have been brought to the town planner, then I would find that the application can be complete.
Okay, do I have a second on that?
I'll second that motion.
All those in favor? All those opposed? Okay, your application is complete. I got a question for you, Dan. This is just,
Well-
it just has to do with that septic system down there. Do you know
Take action on the
portions of
application.
your septic system are
Approve it.
clay tile? Do you know how much of that is clay tile?
I do not, Jonathan. No.
You know, and I
I
mean,
I know where it exits my building.
Oh, yeah.
What it is on the ground exactly, I don't know.
I'm not sure what, when they dug your underground in from the telephone pole into the house for the power line, they hit that sewer line. Remember that?
They broke it?
Yeah, they broke it.
I don't recall that, but I believe it
Yeah, they
because
did.
I know it exits.
Yeah,
What you're saying on my building that exits sewer line.
yeah, they hit the sewer line. Pretty sure they hit that and went right down through there because they went right across from that telephone pole and went right across it and they actually clipped that sewer line. I believe they got your cellar drain too. No, maybe it wasn't the cellar drain. I think it was the sewer line.
Everything's kind of going that way.
Yeah, certainly is.
And we put it on a pedestal that way, drop electric.
Yeah.
That way too, so. I'm assuming my memory's a little vague when they hit, I'm sure they repaired it, but.
The other option possibly, if the easement thing didn't go through, would be the possibility of tying in with yours. I mean, that could be done technically, I suppose. That'd have to be
Oh, sure.
okayed by. I mean,
Another possibility in my mind.
this is just, yeah, for your own information, probably mine somewhat too.
This is good. You know,
Depending on the engineering. If that property became an issue, we could possibly route it and maybe go that way.
Yeah.
Just bypass that property.
Yeah.
If the engineering works, it might be one less easement to do.
Yeah.
And I can't imagine Tidewater would have an issue.
I don't think.
not
we
to
would.
speak for them, but.
It was just a thought, that's all.
Right. Right.
All right.
Jonathan,
Yes,
I
sir.
just want to clarify, the action you just took is approval with two conditions?
Yeah.
Okay.
So all we gotta do is, do we want to approve this thing or not? Don't need to have them come back for anything that I know of. If those two pieces are satisfied, as far as I'm concerned, I'm good.
I would agree.
Anybody want to make a motion?
Yeah, we'll put it in Neil's hands. He did such a good job at the first one.
Then we'll call the application complete.
Yeah, and now we have to have a motion to approve it.
Well, I'll approve the application as complete for 276 Main Street, pending the two unresolved issues as previously mentioned.
Okay, well, I get a second for that one.
Second that motion.
All those in favor? All those opposed? Want to have another
So
motion?
you're all set?
Thank you.
All right.
I approve it.
Thank you to the board.
Okay, 35 Water Street.
Thanks, John.
Thank you.
I'll see you guys later.
So I had to do quite a bit of research on that. It
I
turns
believe it.
out that
Thank you for coming.
One that was complete, the second to approve.
Yeah, I know.
Say complete and approved.
in 07, the code enforcement officer, and I don't know how, he approved the building permit for that porch to be 69 feet from the water. Now, that should have required planning board approval, and of course, planning board would not have approved it because that would have been intrusion. And looking at the file, he measured things incorrectly. The file says that that building is set back 125 feet from the water, which is, it isn't. It's about half of that. So maybe he used the wrong scale or what have you. Anyway, that was 07. I talked to DEP about it. And we have agreed that a mistake made 14 years ago, you can't go back and correct it. So I talked to the applicant's architect and said that as long as any improvements are no closer than 75 feet, which is the setback on the river, that it would not require planning board approval. Because as long as it's at least 75 feet away, they've agreed to that. And so they withdrew the application. Really an odd situation. I don't know how you made that calculation. But that's a status.
Well, that's why having several steps involved with each one of these is advantageous anyway, because sometimes we'll pick it up if CEO didn't.
Now,
So-
the 137 Cottage Point, I haven't heard back from him yet. But to start off, we need explicit permission from the owner because he doesn't own the property to pursue this application. So, well, I haven't heard anything from him, so we'll see.
Yeah,
And that's it? Nothing,
That's it.
you don't have any projects pending?
I love an easy, nice night. I can go home, put some wood on the fire and relax a little. Lots of wood on the fire. It's freaking cold out there, man.
Yeah, it's cold.
Okay, thank you.
Father, you got this one.
All right, I need a motion adjourn here.
No, I'll move we adjourn.
How about if he goes right on? goes right to
I'll
that.
second it.
You want to second that? All those in favor? All those. opposed? Thank you all.
We did it.
All right.